But if there was a weekend before payday, the guy wanted $20 in his pocket. He'd give up 30 or 35 or 40 bucks. It depends on.
Now it's legal. Payday loans just.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Did you ever have any close calls while you were in protection?
Not real. One time I did. I was in Santa Anita. Well, I used to live in Arcadia, right by Santa Anita Racetrack, and there was this bar I used to hang out in. All the bookmakers and horse people used to hang out there, and I knew a lot of the jockeys, and I knew a lot of the owners. And I went in there one day into the bar. It was late at night, and there was two gentlemen that I was affiliated with back in the day, and they looked at me, I looked at them, and they were there on the land. They were both wanted back east for murders and stuff, and both of them wound up getting killed in California. And the government wanted me to start talking to them, and they wanted to set me up and put a sting on them, but I just didn't. I didn't feel safe, and it would have jeopardized my family. Fortunately, that was about the closest. But there was a lot of information that they knew exactly where I was at certain times. But I didn't hang out. I completely changed my lifestyle. I didn't go to places where I shouldn't be. I stood out at a clubhouse in the racetrack. I didn't go to Vegas too much. If I did, I went to Sam's Town. I didn't go to Caesars. But it was a big adjustment, and it took me a lot of years. It took me a lot of years to, to accept the fact that I became an informant. It was a process that took me, I guess, about 10 years when I could really live with myself as a stool pigeon, as a rat. Because that was something, you grow up in that lifestyle, and you say, I'll never rat on nobody, and you despise people that, inform them. Whistleblowers, but I know that I've saved a lot of lives. I've saved the government millions upon millions of dollars, and different things that they didn't know about. They weren't familiar with, with organized crime, and but I've worked through that. A little therapy, a lot of scotch and a few drugs in it. Yeah.
Did you have to get permission from your FBI handler to come here? Do they know you're here?
No. They would laugh at it, actually. No, they're really a small bunch of guys, the whole squad that I'm familiar with. And like I said, I had them to my house for lunches and big Italian meals. And they come up, and the neighborhood I live in is real low key, yuppity neighborhood, and they see all these cars pulled, and these guys you would never, it's a fugitive
Task force.
the fugitive task force, and they go all around the country, after terrorists, and they're the elite of the FBI, and but you would never in a million years ever take one of them for an FBI agent. They just, they blend right in with everybody.
What was this experience like for your wife?
Well, in the beginning it was very, very difficult. I wasn't home a lot. During the trial period, which lasted 7 years, 10 different trials, I was probably away at least 2 to 3 weeks of every month. So she basically raised my children, my 2 children at the time, and it was difficult on her.
Did she feel unsafe when you were gone?
No, she never felt unsafe. I know that there's one scene in the movie where they were looking to grab her. This is when I started cooperating with the FBI, and I was supposed to meet Jimmy Burke, and I sent her because I knew that, I was going to get killed any day. And they tried to grab her, but she was smart enough. She was pretty Jewish girl. She wound up. She got pretty hip to the lifestyle, and and she sensed something, and she knew that they were trying to set her up, and she jumped in the car and made it home. And I think the next day I wound up going with the FBI agents and going right into the witness protection program. And, it was a process. We went to a safe house for a while, and I stayed with agents for a couple of months until they washed all your ID, because my children's school records all had to be changed, and, it was a very difficult time. But I was so relieved that I was finally safe, because I knew I was going to get whacked. There was no doubt in my mind. And I even listened to a tape recording where, the boss of our family talking to Jimmy, and says, "Well, whack him," and I heard it on tape, with my own ears. I never in a million years ever thought that they would kill me, but there was no honor amongst those people. If it was a slightest threat, or if even they thought that you might be a slightest threat, they'd kill you. I mean, that's the way they said it. That's the way. They didn't give you no pink slips. All right, you're fired. You got a 45 cents bullet in the back of your head.
So, are they still keeping track of your children? I mean, are they making sure your children are going to remain safe?
No, well, like I said, my son's an attorney. He's a vice president of a major corporation and head counsel for a major corporation, Royal Corporation. And my daughter's a very successful.
They've changed their names, though.
Oh yeah, they have different names. I took my name back. I mean, someone would holler a name. Hey Marty. Hey Henry. Hey Joey. I turn around. I don't know who they were talking. I mean, it's funny, but it's not funny. Yes, ma'am.
Back in the day, did your family know from the beginning what you did?
Yes, of course. I mean, my mother was born in Sicily. My father was an Irishman. He started a local 3 electrical union in New York, and they kept the mob out. And he used to tell me, there are bums around the corner, across the street from the house. Those guys are bums. I just didn't get it. I mean, I didn't get it. I was, like I said, I was so attracted to that lifestyle, and it was so intoxicating to be around those people. And it was always excitement, and they always had, beautiful cars and loads of money, and they used to, shower me with money, for doing little errands, delivering a package here and, doing whatever I had to do. And, to me, I thought it was normal, I mean, but I knew it wasn't normal, according to my family. They tried to, beat it into me, my father especially, but, it was just a beating,
Can you recall, was there one specific event that made you decide to go the right way?
There was about 12. I mean, there was about 12 of them when all my partners started to get whacked and disappear. And the government, the FBI. I was on parole. I just got out of prison, serving 10 years for extortion and interstate racketeering. And they used to come to my house because they had the right to just come to my house anytime, and just to show me pictures of these mutilated bodies and. It was sad. Yeah, I mean, not that most of them didn't deserve to die, but it was just, it was such a subculture, that whole organized crime business. It's hard for a normal person to understand.